The kind of peak pictures that I've made were very much my kind of reading of the current sort of psychological, social situation that I perceived in the world, in the United States in specific, to kind of a B-movie genre format, but making it as deep as I could and as deeply embedded in kind of the cultural zeitgeist of the time. We knew we were going into really a very unstable environment. Haiti had had essentially a citizens' revolution about 9 months before, where they had thrown Baby Doc out, and the only real law and order in the place was the army and the voodoo priests. So we were able to hire the army, and then with the voodoo priests, we basically just went in and said, we want to make this movie about voodoo, and we want to be respectful to it, and we want your help and protection. So we were guided to the supposedly the most powerful voodoo and priest on the island, and he sort of basically gave us protection, and he actually gave us an assignment because we were on a location scout at the time. He said, the next time you come back, bring me some gold chains and some other things. And so David Latt and I actually found ourselves 2 weeks later in Beverly Hills going into a jewelry store buying gold chains. And the guy finally says, are these for a little girl? Are they for an adult? We said, no, actually it's for a voodoo ceremony.
Coming to you undead from Elm Street in fictional Haddonfield with a beautiful view of Crystal Lake, the podcast where every day is Friday the 13th and every night is Halloween. You are listening to Blood, Guts, and Blu-Ray with your hosts Bloodbath and Brett667, the neighbor of the beast.
Thank you for tuning into Blood, Guts, and Blu-Ray. My name is Bloodbath.
And I'm Bub.
And the bride of Bloodbath is who you heard in the intro. Behind her, the chilling sounds of the Slasher Film Festival strategy who plays throughout the episode, as well as Nightbirds. Brett667, the neighbor of the beast, is on vacation. He's in California. So you're stuck with me and Bub as we continue. Just fumbling my words up now. It's been a long day. As we continue Wes Craven Tribute Month, this is part 2. We're going to be talking about 1988's The Serpent and the Rainbow. But first, Bub, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, buddy. I'm ready for the weekend. I need to get some weekend in my life right now.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was a rough week, dude.
So I finished Stranger Things.
How'd you like the ending of it?
I love the whole show, man. I loved it.
Dude,
I was really into it.
I've been watching it, man. I'm only on episode 5. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on yet. It's kind of strange.
Things.
Kids are disappearing. There's people being sucked through elevator tiles.
I like the I really like the music. That's what I keyed in on that right away, and the fact that it just pays a lot of tribute to the 80s and to me the 80s are the golden age of horror.
Oh yeah.
And I think it just does a really, really good job. I like the guy who plays the cop, David Harbour. I think he's doing an excellent job in the show.
You know who I really liked? That guy who owned that hamburger shop.
He was in something else though too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I've seen him in something.
He's just a big burly dude. He's just grabbing that kid. What are you doing?
All right, here's some ice cream. I also checked out, we talked about it throughout the week, but I checked out Green Room. You said you didn't finish it yet, right?
No, how'd you like it though?
I loved it, dude. I loved it. It was so good. I'm sad that he died. Anton Yelkin, he passed away a couple months ago.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Oh, this is a terrible story. I guess he had a Jeep or something, and he parked his car to get his mail. He put it in park, but it actually wasn't in park, and it rolled down and crushed him between a stone pillar and the Jeep. Oh, it's a terrible, terrible story, man.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
And he's been in a couple horror movies. He was in that movie Odd Thomas. He did the Fright Night remake. So I loved him in the Star Trek movies. I thought he was really good. So I'm sad for him. I'm sad for his family. It really sucks.
That's crazy. How old was that dude?
He couldn't have been much older than me. In fact, I think he was younger than me.
Oh man.
That's not saying much. I'm 32 now, so I'm kind of old.
I'm in my 30s, man. I feel that.
Oh, I'm feeling it every day. Jeez. And what else I do? So I have heard nothing but good things about that show, Preacher. I don't know. Have you seen it yet?
I've read things online about it. I haven't checked it out yet.
I haven't watched it yet either, but I started reading the graphic novel. I actually started it today because it was like a bit of a slow day at work, and I kind of had to just sit there. So I got through like each book is like 300 pages, but it's a graphic novel, so it's quick. So I got through like the first 30 pages, and I really, really like it. So I'm excited to check it out. I don't have AMC on cable. It's not on demand or anything, and it's not on Hulu. And I don't want to get in trouble for downloading another show.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to wait, I guess. But yeah, I'm hoping that I finish at least the first. They made like 60. They made 66 issues, which I think they condensed into 6 books. And so I'm gonna try to get through as many of them as I can. Pretty excited about it.
That's crazy. You don't get AMC by you, dude. That's nuts.
Well, it's not that I don't. It's not that. It's in like a higher upgraded package. So
okay.
I'm not willing to pay for it. I don't have a sports package or anything. I watch hockey, and I pay for the application to just watch any game that I want.
Yeah.
I was almost willing to pay if the Knicks got Kevin Durant. I was gonna pay for the basketball package as well, but they didn't get him. I haven't had the time to watch because my work schedule and everything. It's been crazy for the last couple weeks, so I haven't really had the time to watch any baseball. And football is the most corrupt religion in America.
Oh yeah.
So I don't watch it anymore. I've completely given up. Let's see, the last 2 seasons, I think I watched a total of 2 games.
Oh, man.
And they weren't even Giant games, so I don't care. If the Giants were to make it to the Super Bowl, I wouldn't even watch it. That's how far removed I am from football. I hate college football. It's just not a fun sport for me to watch anymore. So,
speaking of football, dude, they should make a horror movie about Tom Coughlin.
They should.
That'd be great. They, I was reading in the news the other day that basically Tom Coughlin, he's not there anymore with the Giants, but he's still showing up. He's still working out there. Like, they can't get rid of him. Totally stalking out the Giants.
Franken-coach. So what do we have? What do we have for news this week? I'm excited.
All right, let's talk about Gags the Clown. Have you heard about Gags the Clown?
No, I haven't heard about Gags the Clown. I've heard about Stitches the Clown, and I love Stitches the Clown.
You're not gonna love Gags, I'm telling you. So there's this guy. It started August 1st around 2 a.m. Cops are getting calls about him. There's a guy walking around Green Bay, Wisconsin, dressed in full clown outfit, the whole jumpsuit, carrying 4 black helium balloons. He just walks the city, doesn't say anything, and it's scary, man. I'm gonna post a picture once we post this online, but this dude is creepy.
So this isn't a movie or anything. This is real. There's just a guy walking around dressed up as a clown.
It's a real psychopath just dressed up as a clown. He's just walking Green Bay. I put money on it. That's Aaron Rodgers. That dude. he's definitely doing it. He's doing it. He's bored on the off season and he's just walking around Green Bay.
What is he doing anything to people, or is he just staring them down?
He's just staring them down. He's not saying anything. He's carrying 4 black helium balloons, and basically cops are getting calls, and they're saying that all the calls are coming from these kids playing like Pokemon Go at night. These kids are walking the city like, I'm just looking for a Pikachu, and all of a sudden Gags is rolling up on them. It's crazy, man. It's real scary.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
That would freak me out too. Like clowns legitimately make me nervous. I mean, it's not like I can't sit through a clown movie, but like being around clowns, they freak me out.
Well, basically, like the police commissioner is like telling people like, "There's nothing I can do. He's not doing anything wrong. If the guy wants to walk around like a clown, we're in America. There's like freedom here.
This is America. You can walk around you can walk around as a clown if you want.
Yeah.
There's a guy walking around. There's a guy walking around Atlanta or something with an assault rifle a couple weeks ago, and he wasn't pointing it at anybody, but he was walking around with it.
Just to have it.
Just that, because it's America. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
And if this was Vegas, you could really do whatever you want.
Oh yeah, anything goes.
Anything goes.
That's awesome. I'm telling you, man. But yeah, that really creeps me out. I mean, but you're in Green Bay. I mean, that whole Midwest area is like Juggalo country.
Oh yeah. And it's funny too, because like Green Bay is my understanding, Green Bay is a pretty conservative place. Like, not conservative politically, but everybody kind of keeps to themselves, and then they just go buck shit when football season comes around. So
oh yeah,
they basically turn into mutants. Now that would be a good horror movie. Like, you're like in the off season, everything's normal, and then when the season starts, everybody turns into a blood-sucking, organ-eating mutant.
It's once they put those cheese helmets on, it affects their brain.
Dude, all these ideas are just coming to me. It's a gift, really.
Yeah, man, but I'm telling you, yeah, that freaks me out. So another thing I found was Guillermo del Toro, right? He's running an art exhibit called At Home with Monsters. So that's running at the LA County Museum. But I'm telling you, some of the pieces, they're real creepy.
Yeah, he's a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan, like a big time, like the Cthulhu thing and Miskatonic, and I've only read a couple of H.P. things. H.P. Lovecraft is a very tough read, but but like it's just full of monsters, like biblical type monsters. And I watched this documentary on it, and like Guillermo del Toro was like prominently featured in that. It was actually really, really interesting watch. Have you seen his new Crimson Peak? Have you seen that yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either. I heard it's like a very long, drawn out ghost love story that I don't know if I have I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah, that could be really hit or miss.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Patrick Swayze making clay pots or anything, but
but yeah, basically like what you were saying, like Guillermo del Toro, he said like, I love monsters like people worship holy images. That was his quote on the whole thing that he's doing.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out for sure.
Yeah, I'm telling you, some of the pictures online look great. But so it's running at LA County Museum from August 1st until November 27th, and it costs $25 to get in, but kids are free.
Well, that's awesome.
Dude, so you don't got that third wheel. You don't have to pay for them.
I mean, the kids were free at that horror convention that I went to and so we brought Sheena. She was there. It was awesome.
They're not charging for a 1-year-old.
Did I don't even think so the next day, I didn't even tell you this story. So when we did our podcast, that was after the first day. The next day we met Kane Hodder and Jason.
Yeah.
And his thing is that he pretends to choke people in the picture. Like he wears gloves, and then you take the picture with him, and he wraps his arms around your neck. He doesn't do it hard. He's not trying to hurt you. He's just trying to give you something authentic.
Oh, I'm telling you, that's great.
And he gets along really, really good with his fans. And one of them says, "Can I get a choke picture or something?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll choke you." And then he points to Sheena. He's like, "And I cannot wait to choke her."
That's awesome.
And
that is great.
And he talked with me and Kristen and for like 10 minutes, and he was just really, really. He was just such a nice guy, and he loves going to these conventions and meeting up with his fans, and it was definitely a memorable thing for me. So
I'm telling you, anybody who appreciates their fans, I'm on board.
That's
awesome.
That's why it was so cool to meet William Forsythe, because he was like the same thing. I was like, hey, can I get a picture? He's like, yeah, buddy, I'll give you a picture.
he scares the shit out of me, man.
He's actually so nice, it's terrifying.
Yeah. No, there's something behind that.
And he the roles that he's played, like he plays just everything he's done other than Deuce Bigalow is just this violent, like heavy. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, Brian, think about it though. He's got a copy of that picture at home, you and him.
I bet he does. What else you got?
Oh, you know what? So, I guess TNT. You know, I love Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
you know, and they just set a premiere window for they're doing Tales from the Crypt. You know, basically it's coming out fourth quarter of 2017. You know, it seems like it's gonna be awesome.
Like all new episodes.
All new episodes, and they're not gonna be short. They're gonna be like 2 hours long.
Ooh.
So basically, we're gonna get a horror movie every week.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome, man.
I'm telling you, and you know what? It's on TNT, so like I'm really hoping that like this sets some emotion to bring back like Monster Vision and all that stuff. You know,
I would give my left nut for Monster Vision to come back because I loved it. I watched it all the time because I spent a lot of time at home by myself when I was a kid. I especially because it was on when I was so young, and getting to the video store was so hard.
Yeah.
Joe Bob Briggs really, really saved me, and it gave me an appreciation for like B movies and drive-in movies and stuff like that. And I loved his drive-by thing that he did, and how like if like they have sex in the movie, he would like call it aardvarking. Or something funny. Like,
I'm telling you, that show is great, so I think I'm telling you, if they set this in motion and it turns out well, I don't see why they wouldn't bring it back. But if they bring it back, they got to bring back Joe Bob Briggs. They can't get another guy.
Oh no, you have to get Joe Bob or you don't do it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it, man.
So before we go into the film, I just want to give a quick shout out to Jeff from Eastside Mags. He and his wife Marie. Jeff's been a friend of mine for quite some time now, and he and his wife just got married last summer. They've been, they got married over a year ago, and they just announced that they're having a baby. They don't know if it's going to be a boy or girl yet. They're about 9 weeks in, so just want to give a shout out to them and say congratulations. Welcome to fatherhood and motherhood and parenthood and all the pain and suffering, joy and happiness that it's going to bring you. So congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, man.
And if anybody that's listening to this is living near like the New York, New Jersey area, and you can make your way out to Montclair, go to Jeff's store. It's amazing. It's like the best comic book store I've ever been in. I'm not a comic book expert by any stretch, but Jeff runs a pretty tight ship, and he'll get you whatever you need. So big up to Eastside Mags. I'm not paid to say that, by the way. He's my friend. He would never give me money to say that on my podcast.
I'm gonna have to check that place out, man. I'm close.
It's really, really good, man. And he the guy just loves comic books, and he loves talking about comic books, and he loves meeting people, and he's very good at being the owner of a store and selling himself. Like he sells you the comic book experience. Like that's what he was trying to bring back. So he's a really good dude, and I'm super happy for him. I love going to, every time I go up to New Jersey, I like to go visit him and stuff. So
he's basically the opposite of comic book guy from The Simpsons.
He's the total opposite. The total opposite. And he's got like a little stage area where he'll have bands play, or he'll have like artists come in and like sign stuff and everything. It's pretty awesome. So it's a tight little shop. He gets quite a bit of foot traffic. It's a really nice place. So Eastside Mags, that's what's up.
You are listening to Blood, Guts, and Blu-Ray with Bloodbath and Brett667, the neighbor of the beast. Let us know what you think by reaching out to us. We can be found on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, or Facebook by simply searching Blood, Guts, and Blu-Ray. To suggest a film or trailer you think we should discuss, or to comment on this or any other episode, send an email to bloodgutsandblueray@gmail.com. We will always get back to you. Thank you for listening to Blood, Guts, and Blu-ray, and enjoy the rest of the show.
From Wes Craven, director of A Nightmare on Elm Street, comes a story of the forbidden world between life and death.
There's a door to the mystical, and you just walk through it.
Somebody brought him back from the grave, and I want to know how they did it.
Death is not the end. I'll take your soul. You think you can take these people's secrets and just walk away?
In the shadows of the imagination lies the ultimate nightmare.
Don't let them bury me. I'm not dead.
The Serpent and the Rainbow.
We're going to talk today about The Serpent and the Rainbow. Definitely one of the lesser known Wes Craven movies, by far.
Oh yeah, I had never seen it until you asked me to watch it to review it.
This is the first time me watching it for this was the first time. I just thought it would be a cool movie to watch, and it was a different take on zombies, and just like he did a different take on slasher, he did a different take on zombies, and I thought that was really cool. The movie came out in 1988. It was a budget of $7 million. It grossed 19.6, so it definitely did. It definitely made its own money back. Body count was 4. The naughty count was 1. Am I missing anything? I feel like I'm missing something. I hope I'm not missing it. If it comes up later, I'll just blurt it out, even if Bruce is talking. And just since Brett's not here, I guess I'll do the synopsis. It's based on a book, an actual book, nonfiction, by a man named Wade Davis. He was an ethnobotanist from Harvard, Ivy League educated. That was like the big sell on the book, was that a skeptical Ivy League educated guy went down to Haiti and discovered voodoo, and there's a possibility that voodoo and zombieism in the classic sense might be real. So basically, they get word that people can rise from the dead, and they try to figure out why. They know that it's got to be a chemical or something, some sort of plant concoction. So a company sends him down there. He does investigating. At the time that they're sending him down there, the country's kind of in an upheaval, because they went through a series of dictators, and those dictators had secret police. It's pretty crazy. And
that was really going down at the time too, man.
Oh yeah,
they didn't record. They didn't tape the whole movie in Haiti. They couldn't.
No, they couldn't. It was very dangerous to be. It's very dangerous.
Half that movie is recorded in the Dominican Republic just to have the look.
Yep. It's the same island, same. It's basically the same everything, minus the language is much different. But and they're incredible baseball players in the Dominican Republic.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible to say. Anyway,
if you want a good baseball player, you go to Dominican Republic. You want a horror movie, you go to Haiti.
Yeah. you want to get turned into a zombie slave, go to Haiti, because that's where they're doing that, apparently. And the psychoactive drug is called tetrodotoxin. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. It comes from a pufferfish. So anyway, long story short, he's trying to track down this potion or powder or whatever and bring it back to America to be studied and maybe used as an anesthetic or something, and it just goes fucking south. It's the only way to really describe that. So as I was watching it, the voodoo's it's always been a fascinating thing to me, but I didn't really do much research on it before I watched the film. I knew a lot about Haiti and stuff, especially with the political thing, because I was a political science major in college, and they oftentimes will make you study a region. I studied a bunch, but they'll make you study specific regions, and I took a Caribbean, South America and Caribbean class, and I just lost my train of thought. The Caribbean especially played a huge role in American politics, because a lot of times the leaders there were installed because America thinks of the Caribbean as its backyard. It's in the Monroe Doctrine, and it's in the Roosevelt Corollary. If I wanted to really go into detail about it, this podcast would just be way too long. It'd be like a 10-part thing, and Bruce would never get to talk. Anyway, but needless to say, it's something that you sort of have to study if you do global politics. Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and a lot of it's due to, like I said, the dictators, and as a result, secret police. Usually, because there's a lot of crimes, secret police, people are trying to overturn the government all the time. Secret police in Haiti are depicted extremely well in this movie, and they're equivalent to the Gestapo in Germany. Post-World War I Germany and revolutionary Haiti have a lot of similarities, and that's one of the and having a secret police force is one of them. The translation for the secret police, it's the Tantan Mantu, which actually means Uncle Gunny Sack, or Uncle with the Knapsack. And that's basically a voodoo monster that puts people in a sack and feeds on their souls. So it was definitely appropriate for Wes to include that element in this movie, and I thought that made it frightening. This movie was there were some extremely frightening parts in this movie. So let's just try to
the visuals alone in this movie save it. It's based on visuals.
It is a completely visual movie because of the colors of the countryside, the paints and the potions and all the things that they wear out there. It's striking. There's some pretty good effects. The part where Bill Pullman gets pulled in the ground early. When he's falling down that hole,
and all the corpses are lashing out at him. I thought was definitely really cool. It's a lot of the voodoo special effects, the guy eating hot coals and the guy eating glass. Those are real voodoo people doing that.
Oh yeah. You know when that lady's sticking the big needles through the guy's cheek and stuff when they're dancing?
Yeah.
That's actually, that blonde lady is actually Bill Pullman's wife. They had just gotten married, and he's like, "Come to Haiti with me. Let's do this."
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So the guy who wrote the book, Wade Davis. Now that this departs a huge from the book. The book is a nonfiction thing, and basically what it is, it's like an academic imperial look at Haitian voodoo and whether you can actually have a potion that causes people to rise from the dead. Let me explain how this potion works, or else the rest of this podcast won't make any sense at all. They blow the powder into your face, and then a couple minutes later, you basically turn hysterical, and then you pass out, and then people think you're dead. Your heart rate slows down really, really slow. Your respiration is almost non-existent, but you're totally still alive and aware of what's going on. But you can't move. You're completely paralyzed, which is what happens if you get stung by one of those pufferfish. Then you get buried, and this potion works for 12 hours or so. after you get buried, now they bury you extremely quickly in Haiti because they don't have refrigeration. They can't keep the bodies from starting to rot like almost immediately. So they do a funeral extremely quickly. They bury you they don't bury you 6 feet under. They bury you about 2.5 feet under. And then the guy who blew that in your face digs you up and keeps you just hooked on psychoactive drugs until your nervous system is just gone, and your brains turn into mush. And then when he's done with you, and now you're no longer his zombie slave, he just releases you out into the streets. And people say, "Hey, wait a minute, didn't you die 18 years ago?" Yeah, according to the paperwork, I probably died, but no, I was alive. I was kept alive, and a voodoo man stole my soul. So it's pretty, and that whole process is just fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, the guy's coming to him in his dreams and stuff. I'm like, it's Haitian Freddy. Oh, Haitian Freddy's here.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between that and Nightmare on Elm Street. What was I gonna say? Oh my god, I just completely lost my train of thought. One of the things I didn't like was that they made the female doctor, the Haitian girl, they made her a love interest in the movie. I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that. They did not.
They didn't need to do that at all. I can appreciate nudity, and I appreciated it, but I didn't like that because I thought it just made it kind of hokey and goofy at that point, you know. But there was I'm kind of jumping all over the place. The guy who wrote this wanted Peter Weir to direct, and he wanted Mel Gibson to star in it. And I don't think that would have made it a better movie. I'll be not so much the Peter Weir part, but Mel Gibson, no way.
Could you imagine Lethal Weapon Mel Gibson as that character? 1988 Mel Gibson?
Yeah. and don't get me wrong, Bill Pullman was terrible in this movie. I don't think he's that good of an actor. I thought he was a poor choice for the lead, because I think he overact. He's like Sidney Poitier, like the way he talks and stuff. Like he just gets really low. Like, it's just like Independence Day. We gotta nuke.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Nuke the bastards. Like I always just thought he's very, very cheesy. I mean, he looks like, for Independence Day, they probably picked him because he looks presidential. But yeah, as far as that, and he looks like a scientist. He looks like a kind of backpacking, out there anthropology type of guy. He's got the look for it, but he's a fucking awful actor.
There's nothing upstairs. He's got the look, but there's nothing in the head. Like in the beginning of the movie, when he gets back to the helicopter, and all those worms are coming out of the pilot's nose and stuff. Get the fuck out of there! What are you doing? I screamed
at the top of my lungs. Although, you know what was fucking cool is, and you bring up a good point. Like right before that, he's like fucking around with a jaguar in the forest.
Oh yeah, because that witch doctor's like, here, take a shot of this, and he's like, yeah, I don't mind if I do.
Yeah, you're painted all red. You're fine. I trust you.
This is safe.
This is totally safe. Has this been approved by the FDA? He takes it, and he starts hallucinating. But he, for the movie, he's like wrestling around with a jaguar and like playing with it. Like he really did do that. That wasn't a stunt double, and that wasn't a puppet. That was a real jaguar, and that was really Bill Pullman, and they look like they were the best of friends. So he definitely did it a bunch of times.
The best part about that part, though, is when he's like wrestling with him in the grass at the beginning. That witch doctor's just standing there like, yeah, play with that jaguar. He's a real creep in the background. Like he's like, yeah, I set this up.
This movie inspired that stupid Godsmack song too. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. Voodoo. Yeah. I read that. It lost a point in my book because of it. I took a point right off. I was like, get out of here.
But I did like... So what's some of these other parts here that were really, really cool? I guess maybe we'll just walk through this movie a little bit. So we're in Haiti, and he starts they start walking around. They're trying to find like a witch doctor to make him the potion, and this one guy like fucks with him, and he's like, he gives him basically a fake potion. And and Bill Paul,
that guy was like my favorite character.
He was the best character.
Luis
Mozart, right?
Luis Mozart? Yeah. He was definitely the best. He was like, my shit is the best. You take this powder.
He switches the powder, which he thought was like rat poison. I think it ended up being rat poison. And
it was arsenic.
Yeah. And he put, he switched it with something safe and then poured it into his drink and drank the whole thing and then ran away. Which was...
But I love how he looks him straight in the face and he's like, "This is piss."
And then the guy comes around, and this is the part I don't understand, right? Basically, the guy just tried to give you something that was going to fucking kill you. You knew it from the jump street, and he runs outside and he goes, "Okay, you tricked me. I'll make you the real potion, but it's going to cost you $1,000. And you go, "Okay, sure." And you do it? No.
Right? Well, he's too busy like playing magic tricks with the doctor girlfriend. He's like, "I didn't really take the powder. It's behind your ear the whole time."
Ugh, what a cheesy part. I mean, and it started out as a cool part, like the part you were saying where like this is piss, but he has this like Indiana Jones type moment where he drinks it like to call his bluff. That was pretty cool. Yep. That was like a alpha male John Wayne type of shit, But then he's like, "Oh, you tricked me and tried to kill me, and I caught you at the last second."
You know what's funny though, like about the Indiana Jones thing that you're saying? Somebody wrote on the internet when I was like looking up this movie that it basically Bill Pullman is Indiana Jones if he lost his charm, good looks, and a few points off his IQ.
It's fairly accurate. That is
pretty
fairly
much
accurate. So was that part before or after him and the hot Haitian chick sleep out in the woods with the voodoo people?
I think it was before.
So that's right, because they're waiting until like the next night to get the powder, right? Okay, yep. So Bill Pullman and his new Haitian girlfriend, they didn't bang yet, so they weren't boyfriend girlfriend yet. But
she wouldn't sleep with him until he had the powder.
They sleep outside, which is crazy to me. Not that camping sucks, but like sleep outside with nothing. It rains all the time in Haiti. Why would you sleep outside? And there's probably a million bugs everywhere. It's gross. Anyway, they sleep outside, and he has a dream, and in the dream he's basically approached by like a corpse bride. It's the best way for me to describe it. That part where the snake jumps out of the corpse bride was fucking awesome. The special effects effects right there were incredible. That was really great.
Oh yeah, it was so good. She's my second favorite character. When her hand comes out of the soup at the end, loved
that was awesome.
She was great.
That was awesome. The what's it? Petrod. That was the. Well, we'll get to him. I'm jumping all over the place. This is gonna be a really terrible podcast. I'm sorry, guys. So they end up getting arrested, and the head of the secret police, who we find out later, because we can spoil this, and we're going to. We find out later is a voodoo practitioner. He's a witch doctor. I'm sure witch doctor is not the right word. Sorry if I'm offending anybody. I don't mean to. But he basically threatens him. He's like, quit snooping around. I know you're not a tourist. You're something more than a tourist, and you're getting in my way. Because if people find out about the voodoo potion, then it essentially takes all the power away from him, because that's how he coerces people into, getting his way. Well, then Bill Pullman basically gets caught again, and he's like, "I told you to leave. You fucking stayed here. And now it's too late." And they strip him naked, strap him to a chair, and then drive a nail right through his nutsack.
Oh yeah, and it's not any nail, folks. It's like a 9-inch nail. The thing's
It was
fucking huge.
You know what happens if that was me? Movie over. Don't care about this powder anymore. I don't even live here. I'm out. I'm on the first plane back to Boston. That's where I'm going. You know.
But Bill Pullman was all cool about it. Like when he meets back up with Dr. Girlfriend, he's like, he wasn't trying to kill me. He was just trying to wound me when he drove that nail through my scrotum.
That was horrible. That was
it's like
the
these
dumbest,
dudes just
that
threw you
was
from
the
a pickup
dumbest
truck.
thing.
Like, yeah.
That was so stupid. And that's sort of where. So it this movie takes a while to build, but like I was excited while it was building. You know what I mean? Because you get like a cool special effect here, and you're learning something about voodoo and stuff. Which, you know, the zombie thing is it's a fringe thing. Not all voodoo's like a religion anywhere else. It's centered around Haiti and Dominican Republic and stuff. So,
that torture scene though, you know what? I like with the acetylene torch where he's like, "Do you like your pretty white face? I like your pretty white face. I like it too."
I think I'm not gonna hurt that or something like that.
Right? He's like, "The ladies love your pretty white face, Bill Pullman. I will not hurt it."
But I am gonna drive a nail through your fucking ball sack. Oh, dude, I jumped. I jumped.
It's a crisscross, man. He's like, "I'm not gonna hurt the face, but I'm gonna wound down there. You're done."
As soon as he said that, I'm like, this is gonna be bad news for you. And like I jumped and I yelled, and Kristen was like, "What's the matter?" I'm like, "He just drove a nail through his dick."
Was she like, was it a prosthetic like in that movie Found, Brian? Was it real?
He actually, but that guy actually turns out to be pretty scary and menacing throughout this movie.
Oh yeah.
Especially, you know, toward the end where he like goes full on voodoo and starts to get into some of the rituals and stuff. I thought it was really, really cool. And then there's just like there's like continuity problems. If you watch near the end, when throughout the entire movie, Petrod he's a black guy. He's got like a black beard and a black mustache. The whole and like he's balding on top, but he's got black hair too, right? Like, you know, it's grown in short, but it's totally visible. And then at the end of the movie, it's grown out and it's gray. And I don't know if that was for effect.
Oh yeah, yep.
But it's one of the things that I noticed, and when it's that blatant, when a movie is trying to be really serious and it's that blatant like that, I think that sucks. I think that's like, you know, if you're trying to be super serious, you have to pay a lot of attention to detail. It's one thing if a crew member's elbow accidentally gets shot in the mirror. You know what I mean? Like that shit happens, and and if it's a good take, you don't want to get rid of it. But, you know, go get some Just for Men, for fuck's sake. This is a big budget picture.
I mean, I kind of feel like they did that on purpose, like, because that kind of comes in after the fact at the whole fight scene at the end, you know, when he's kind of like, I kind of feel like it was trying to say like he's losing his power, you know?
Yeah, but it didn't.
It was too much.
But
though.
well,
it wasn't subtle.
It wasn't subtle. It just like it flipped. Like in one shot, it wasn't like they gradually showed it, or they, like, you know, like he touches his face and then he realizes that it's like, you know what I mean? If he did something like that, then you're absolutely right, and I get exactly what you're saying. But I think that it missed. It shot and missed right there. That's my take. The one cool. Oh yeah. When Bill Pullman wakes up with that severed head in his bed, I thought that. Oh yeah, that was awesome. That was fucking awesome. That was great.
I'm telling you, it totally reminded me of like The Godfather. It wasn't a horse head, but it was a head.
And yeah, this is the message from Don Corleone. And then there was the part where he has the dream where he's like the blood is just filling up the casket.
Oh, that was shot great.
That was awesome.
I loved it. Like the vertical angle of that, like how high the ceiling was, and the blood's just dripping down and filling up. Like, it was crazy.
I loved it. I also liked the I kind of like the part where all right, Bill Pullman's basically been kidnapped twice. They put a nail through his scrotum. They're like, you need to get the fuck out of here. You need to go home. They force him to get on a plane, and he comes back.
Oh yeah.
And they blow like the powder in his face. Do I have the order of events right? He came back and then they blew the powder in his face, right?
That's the timeline, man. I'm telling you. What's he doing coming back? That was crazy.
Right. So, before he comes back, he goes to a dinner party with this psychoactive drug that he got from the guy who tried to kill him with rat poison, and now they're best friends. And he gives it to his boss, and they're having a little dinner party, and Petrod possesses the boss's wife.
Oh yeah, she starts eating the wine glass.
She was probably the best part of that movie. That bitch is
crazy.
Tiny role that she played, and she bit that glass like a champ. But we know the glass is made of sugar. That's how they do it. But
she was freaking out so hard though. The husband's like, "I gotta put my leather wallet in your mouth. She's seizing."
And so he's like, Bill Pullman basically is like, "I've had enough. I need to go to Haiti. I need to go put an end to this." Meanwhile, like, that just doesn't make any sense because he possessed your friend's wife, your boss's wife, who you like barely connected to in any way, from over 2,000 miles away. Yeah, if he can do that from there, what are you gonna do in Haiti that's gonna stop him?
Yeah, they're there in Beantown with you, Dr. Allen. They're there.
So he goes back to Haiti, and he gets his buddy Lucian that he met over there, like, snatches him off the plane. It makes it look like the secret police took him away, and he tries to protect him, and then basically they just somebody runs up to him and they blow the psychoactive powder in his face, and he's running through the streets, just over dramatically running through the streets. And then he falls down.
How about that Haitian kid? That Haitian kid that he grabs on?
Yeah.
That kid's like, "Get the fuck off me. Get the fuck off me, Bill Pullman." He like rips his tank top off him. And the kid's like, "No!"
But the cool part is that, like, I think it's the tagline for the movie is, "Don't let them bury me, I'm not dead." And then, and then he dies, and they put the tarantula on his face. And again, that was a real tarantula. All the animals that Bill Pullman confronts in this movie, that's really him doing it. So props to him for doing that.
Oh yeah, I like that part too. I like when that dude says, like, "Now you'll have some company with you."
That was crazy. And when he put dude, spiders freak me out. Tarantulas scare the shit out of me. And I would be crying. I would be shitting blood and fucking crying if that happened to me. But anyway, he gets dug out by another guy who was a zombie, and they go after Petrod, and his beard turns gray, and then the fight actually at the end was pretty cool. That was pretty rad. I like that, how they said that all the souls were in the canisters, and then they freed them. That was pretty cool. What'd you think?
I love that part, but you know what was really weird for me? Like, when they're breaking the canisters and the souls are being released and stuff, like, they break Bill Pullman's canister, and it's a fucking jaguar. And it's like the jaguar's protruding from his body. It was like, it looked like an Exxon commercial almost, if it was a tiger. Like, it'd be a perfect Exxon commercial.
That was good. I like that. That was well played. So, like I said earlier, I didn't really do any investigating into voodoo before I saw the movie, but I did watch a little bit of like a documentary style. It was a Vice thing. Vice did a 6-part web series on Haitian zombies, and it is done. The guy who narrates it, investigates. His name is Hamilton Morris, and he's one of the biggest tool sheds I've ever heard speak. But there's a part in the documentary where they actually get to see and interact with somebody who's like an actual zombie slave, and that minute in that documentary was more terrifying than anything in this movie. So if this shit is actually real, that's insane. Because I was like, it was taped 4 years ago, and there's a computer screen between me and this person, and I'm like, oh my god, I was freaking out a little bit. It actually turned out that he ends up getting the zombie powder and an antidote to that powder, and he took them to be tested, and it was fake. There's nothing in there that could have done anything. What I can appreciate about this movie is how Wes made a zombie movie that was different from all the other ones. It's
definitely unique.
It's about the phenomenon of voodoo zombification. The American concept of zombies are really far removed from where the origin actually was, which is Haiti and voodoo and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't done one in like New Orleans, because the voodoo stuff over there is,
out of control.
It's out of control.
Let's Chat with Revel and Friends is part of Courts and Parts, a podcast network featuring pop culture, TV, and movie podcasts. Check out our other shows, That Pop This Live, Talking Shondaland, We Got Five, and TV Ate My Brain at courtsandparts.com.
You are listening to Blood, Guts, and Blu-Ray with Bloodbath and Brett 667, the neighbor of the beast. We are dedicated to bringing you the show across your favorite medium. We can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube. Please send all suggestions to bloodgutsandblueray@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.
What did you rate this bad boy?
I'm going to give it 3 stars. You know what? It would have maybe been closer to 3.5 or 4 if it didn't influence Godsmack to make voodoo. But, it's still a solid movie. I liked it.
I went with 2. I gave it 2 scars. Yeah, 2 scars. It had some really, really great parts in it, I thought. Especially where you're seeing the voodoo rituals, like I mentioned before, with the coal eating and the and the glass eating and stuff like that. Like that, I was like, whoa! I thought that was amazing, and I agree with what you said. How it's a very visual movie. You're in the you're in the fucking jungle. You're in the clothes that they're wearing and all that stuff. And especially, you really notice it when he goes back to the States, and it's just sort of like ho hum, very drab. Like,
it's crazy. What was the name of that drug that you were talking about? You gave it like the scientific, like generic name of that drug. What was it called?
I'm gonna try to pronounce it correctly. Tetrodotoxin.
Yeah, well, when he gets back to the States and he's in Boston, he's at that dinner party, like this crazy doctor scientist guy who sent him over to Haiti, he's like, we'll just call it Zombatrol. That's what we're gonna call it. It's like, dude, you have a doctorate from Harvard, you're gonna call it Zombatrol?
You couldn't be a little bit more inventive than Zombatrol?
I'm telling you. It reminded you ever see Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy?
Yeah.
You ever see that movie?
Yeah.
It reminded me of that part.
Gleeman X.
He's like, because I was cleaning its gleaming guts off of my fucking windshield.
I love that movie. It's so
this
funny.
medication controls zombies. We're going to call it Zombatrol.
Hey, what do you think, Bruce? Does it say Gleeman X for pets? That's like one of my favorite lines in the whole movie.
What color socks is Bill Pullman wearing today? Red or blue? Roll out the blue carpet.
The board wants me to start cutting people, so naturally I told them to fuck off. But then out loud I said I'd consider it. God, I can watch that movie over and over again. It's really, really funny.
Oh yeah, I love the taxi driver in that movie. It's so funny.
It make the monkeys jack off.
It's made from monkey cum. Zombitrol is made from monkey cum.
Yeah, I gave it a 2 before this becomes the Kids in the Hall podcast. I gave it a 2 because the love interest thing really sucked. I thought it took away from the seriousness of the movie and made it kind of contrived and hokey, and tried to cram it into those usual character archetypes where it's I thought that sucked. Like the more austere and the more what's the word I'm looking for, like the closer you are to keeping this to science, and it's like a battle of skepticism versus taboo, and those two worlds coming together, and then just clashing through the entire movie. There's your suspense build. There's a little bit of action to culminate the ending. That would have been a better movie.
Oh yeah.
I think that they put some cheap nudity in there, and very few parts of this of this movie resemble the book. I mean, just the idea of the book is what's made of the movie. Everything else, like the guy who wrote the book was like, I didn't have any problems with any of the voodoo people. I never had a problem with the secret police. I never had a problem with the country authorities. My biggest problem was getting the stuff back into the U.S. It was just customs was a real pain in the ass. For the most part, this was uneventful, and it's only a good read if you like science and chemistry and plants. And so
you know what you gotta do, dude. When I research these movies before I watch them and stuff, I always like to go on Amazon and read the reviews of the movie. So read the reviews of the movie on Amazon. Kids are like, that book fucking sucks. There was no zombies. There was no scariness. Fuck this book.
I'll watch the video reviews that some people do, where they're like not the ones where people have a sound stage and they have a professional shooting it. You're
watching the ones with the overweight kids in the dark rooms, hi.
Yeah, hi.
I just got done watching Serpent and The Rainbow. There was a boobie in it. I saw it. Also, something about zombies. They didn't use the word zombie enough, though. It's not The Living Dead or anything. I love watching.
It wasn't quite George Romero standards, but I liked it.
But again,
now I'm gonna go drink a glass of soda.
There's somebody banging on his door, what are you doing in there?
Shut up! It's bedtime. You shut up, Mom.
I'm reviewing a movie from 22 years ago.
I'm reviewing a movie, Mom. I'm gonna move out of your basement someday.
They and it's just a really dull desk lamp showing the outline of their face and their computer light in the background, and it's I mean, the first time I watched any there's people who do the news from their fucking fat desk in their in their bedroom. In other news, the Westboro Baptist Church protested the funeral of Wes Craven, and that's their news. They do that, and I just think, and I think when they do reviews, it's hilarious. There's one guy that does music reviews. He's a fucking clown. It's called The Needle Drop. Maybe I shouldn't talk about him. It's the
You're giving him free publicity. Go ahead, go on.
Free commercial for The Needle Drop, and so sometimes he does reviews and they're really, really good. They're thoughtful and he will say something super smart, and I'll be like, wow, this is really good. And I think he reviewed he reviewed the latest Deftones record.
Everybody hates that one. I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
He hated. I can't remember what he said because I listened to his review the day after the record came out. And I just was like, I'll never listen to this fuck again. Ever.
He was like, I didn't like the review because Stephen Carpenter played a 6-string guitar instead of a 9-string guitar on this one.
It might have been something that dumb. And
oh, yeah, you know it. You know it.
Dude. So I could spend all day on how stupid I think people are for not liking that album, but I won't. This is a horror movie podcast, not a Chino Moreno podcast.
You know what we got to do is we got to interview the guy from the Needle Drop down at Jeff's comic book store in Montclair. We're doing it.
Yeah, we should. We should kill him. Fake kill him.
In the comic book store.
In the comic book store with witnesses.
Yep. And record it.
And record it. We're not going to kill anybody. I was only joking. It was fake kill. Faking.
We might. We might.
No.
I'm just kidding. Hey, you want to hear something funny about this movie?
Tell me something funny.
Is that I was reading that, like, 1988, that was kind of like the transition when they were, like, first getting, like, CDs, like, compact discs were coming on the scene. So it was transitioning from vinyl and cassette to CD.
It's hard to find the soundtrack.
It's real hard. I don't know why you would want it. Could you imagine having that soundtrack, Brian? Like, you're just listening to a bunch of fucking bongo music driving to work? Like,
no.
It'd be awkward.
No, I can't. I don't even want There. Listen, guys.
Like,
that's just that statistic or that fact, that fun fact is out there. Like, listen, guys, we're not gonna press. It was a low pressing. That's why we don't have anymore, right? It's so like
it's very rare if you come past it. It might be worth $750 on eBay.
Ugh, I wouldn't want to listen to that. There's nothing on there that would make me want to listen to that. Nothing. Why? It's so stupid.
I don't know. Why is it out there? I want to know who composed the music. I want to know, like, who's credited. I'm gonna look into that.
I think that's gonna do it. I really can't believe that we've talked this long about this movie. That's sometimes I surprise even myself. I guess we should apologize for not being linear at all. We basically just went on for an hour and just jumped around all over this movie. Like, we jumped from spot to spot without really keeping it together. So anybody who hasn't seen this movie, the good thing is that we may have confused you and we might not have spoiled it for you.
I mean, it flows with the movie, though. The movie jumps around. Bill Pullman's in the States. He's back in Haiti. He's getting, a 9-inch nail through his nutsack. I mean, it's one of those movies. When you're reviewing a movie about nails through nutsacks, that's what you get.
You don't see the nail go through. It's not like one of those old, like, cannibal exploitation movies where they basically, like, show you a guy getting his dick cut off or anything like that. So that's good. If that scared you, then don't worry. You don't see anything.
You're gonna see some bloody underwear when he gets thrown out of that pickup truck, though.
Bill Pullman only wears the finest fruit of the loom.
They're like, we're gonna drop you off here at Dr. Girlfriend's house. See you later, Bill.
Get out. So we have 3 more parts left in Wes Craven month. I don't know what order we're gonna do it. I know that we're gonna close with The People Under the Stairs. That's gonna be our closer. So we're definitely gonna talk about that movie. And we're definitely gonna talk about The Hills Have Eyes, because that's the one that Bruce wanted to do, and it's a good movie. I'll watch it again. I love it. And like when I'm saying back all of his movies, I just realized that, like, wow, he was really in everything. Like, as far as the horror genre goes, like, he did ghost movies and he did slasher films and he did a cannibal exploitation film, and he did, like, a weird, like, I Spit on Your Grave thing with Last House on the Left.
Oh yeah,
that movie's, I mean, I have it. That movie's a little disturbing. And then but we are going to talk about Shocker. I don't know which one we're going to talk about next week. We haven't really made up our minds yet, because Shocker is the one that's getting a lot of requests. We're getting a lot of requests for that one. I find it weird because I remember seeing it when I was a lot younger, and I bought it because it looked like a Metallica cover. It looked like Ride the Lightning.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember not liking it so much. However, that doesn't mean a fucking thing now, because there were certain Halloween movies that I loved, and I watched all the Halloweens a couple weeks ago, like just all of them in a row, and I was like, I can't fucking believe I like this one. This one sucked. This was awful. So,
hey, you know how they say like Pink Floyd links like it syncs up to the Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
I heard that Ride the Lightning syncs up to Shocker.
It would be awesome, wouldn't it? We should just try that and see if it works. So, guys, thanks for listening. We appreciate all the chatter and all the support that we're getting on social media. From all the people who've been taking the time to listen to us. But like we said, 3 more weeks of Wes. If you're on iTunes or YouTube, please do us a favor. Please rate, review, and subscribe to our show. So that way more people can find out about us. YouTube will give us a little nudge, and maybe we can get, some cool swag or something. And but we love all the support that we're getting, so we don't want to punch a gift horse in the mouth or anything. So that's it. What was it? I had like a really funny thing that I was. Oh, because we were talking about Daniel Day-Lewis last week.
Oh yeah, love Daniel Day-Lewis.
And the end of what was it? Fuck. I'm sorry for saying all the uhs and the and all that stuff.
What? There will be blood.
At the end of the day. Yeah, at the end of There Will Be Blood, but I'm really sorry for doing that. I don't normally talk like that. It's the end of the day, and that's how I get. My brain is fucking fried.
Emotions are running high.
But at the end of There Will Be Blood, where he's like, I'm finished.
Thank you for listening to Blood, Guts, and Blu-ray with Bloodbath and Brett 667, the neighbor of the beast. Written by Brett and Bloodbath. Edited and produced by Bloodbath. Music has been graciously provided by the Slasher Film Festival Strategy from album Psychic Shield, available now on Death Waltz Originals. Artwork and logo have been provided by Bruce Tedford. Blood, Guts, and Blu-ray is available on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, as well as @Blood, Guts, Blu-ray on Twitter, Blood, Guts, and Blu-ray on Instagram, and visit our Tumblr page by going to bloodgutsandblueray.tumblr.com. For any questions regarding the show, advertising, or anything else, please send an email to bloodgutsandblueray@gmail.com. Thanks again. Get possessed.